this highly anticipated thematic session on strengthening food safety infrastructure in India, integrating policy, accreditation, laboratory capacity, and technological innovation here at World Food India 2025. Food safety is the cornerstone of consumer trust and global trade competitiveness. Today's discussion will explore how robust policy frameworks, strengthened accreditation systems, modern laboratories, and cutting-edge technologies are coming together to build a strong, future-ready food safety ecosystem in India. To steer this vital conversation, it's my privilege to introduce our moderator, Shri Vivek Kumar Singh, Deputy Secretary, Ministry of Food Processing Industries, Government of India. Shri Vivek Kumar Singh has been leading initiatives to enhance India's food processing ecosystem, ensuring policy alignment with innovation and industry needs. We are delighted to have him moderate this session. Now, may I request all the distinguished panel speakers to please join us on the dais. Ms. Rini Narayan, Joint Director, NABL. Sudhir Singh C. Rai, Managing Director of BioZ Engineering Private Limited. Shri Upendra Simha, Senior General Manager at Toshwin Analytical Private Limited. Dr. Nilesh Amritkar, Managing Director, EnviroCare Labs. Ms. Daniel Edsit, Manager, Market Access at New Zealand Apples and Pears. With such diverse panel of experts, we look forward to an engaging discussion on how India can build a world-class food safety infrastructure. I now hand over the session to our moderator, Shri Vivek Kumar Singh.
Hello. Respected eminent panelists, students, academicians, entrepreneurs, food testing owners, exhibitors, and my dear colleagues. Good afternoon to all. It's wonderful to see such a gathering for a topic that touches every plate of food in our country. Welcome to our session on strengthening food safety infrastructure in India by integrating policy, accreditation, lab capacity, and technological innovation. The topic may be lengthy and complex, but we need to make it simple. Let us ask the simple question. The food we eat, how do we ensure that the food we eat, we consume, is safe, trusted, full of nutrition, and ready for global market? That is very important. Namaskar. I am Vivek Kumar Singh. I am looking after the food safety quality assurance infrastructure component under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana in Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Under this scheme, we provide subsidy support for setting up and upgradation of food testing lab. We provide subsidy up to 50% in case of general area and 70% in case of difficult area and projects from the applicant belonging to SC/ST category. The maximum ceiling is 5 crores per project. And today, I'm excited to share the piece of news that this year, Ministry of Food Processing Industries is likely to support 100 new food testing lab. 100 food testing lab, 100 state-of-the-art food testing labs across the country. These are not only the 100 food testing labs. These are 100 opportunities. Opportunities that we must consider. Opportunities for the entrepreneurs. Opportunities for the food testing equipment manufacturers. So that we can build the confidence in what we grow, what we consume, what we harvest, and what we export. So, this is the foundation. Bricks and mortar are not just enough. Real progress comes when innovators, government support, infrastructure, technology, all work together. So that is why this panel is very important, very special. We have NABL, who is the guardian of QMS, quality management system, and testing capability of the lab. We have food testing lab owners who know very well how to run the business, its business model, what to do for running the business with a profit. They know day-to-day challenges and they know the opportunities. So they will share with you. We have food testing equipment manufacturer. They know the technology and what should we do for the precision and speed and what to do to reduce the turnaround time. So technology is very important. We have international speaker also, so that what best practices are being adopted in other world, so that we can get the knowledge for that also, international viewpoint. So I will start my discussion first from NABL. Ma'am, first let me join welcoming NABL participant. How has NABL accreditation enhanced trust, transparency, and global acceptance of India's food testing ecosystem, ma'am?
Good morning, good afternoon all, and thank you sir for inviting NABL in this forum. This is very important because without quality, any product doesn't have any value. So sir, you have asked a very wonderful question. See, in a globalized world, the food we eat and having trust on that is paramount. Diverse country like India, assuring the safety and quality in food supply chain is a huge responsibility. This is where NABL play a transformative role. Ladies and gentlemen, first let me give a glimpse about NABL. NABL is a national accreditation board for testing and calibration laboratory. It is come under Quality Council of India, Department of Promotion for Industrial and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industries. NABL provide accreditation services to all the areas like testing, calibration, medical laboratories, proficiency testing provider, reference material producers, and newly added biobanking. And all these services are based on international standard ISO IC. See, laboratory accreditation is the laboratory's capability and competency to perform a specific task in an impartial manner. NABL, authoritative body, a part of government, is assess the laboratory and check its capability as per the scope for performing testing and its capability. For example, a lab which is apply for testing of cereal products for chemical analysis and microbiological analysis. So when assessment happen, assessors will verify their capability in terms of resources, competent manpower, laboratory facility required for performing test, equipments, and technical competency by demonstrating analysis in front of assessors. So this is the entire mechanism where we can confirm that any lab is capable enough to give a reliable and technical valid result for any product. So because of this international system, regulators and ministry rely on NABL accreditation, accredited laboratories for product certification like BE, and regulators like FSSI for their providing product license and even license to manufacturing units and for the products also. NABL also started one scheme which is NABL integrated assessment scheme with regulators. In this scheme, NABL is taking care of regulatory requirement of Food Safety and Standard Authority for domestic regulation and importing country requirements based on requirements set by Export Inspection Council, APEDA, and other commodities board like IOP, PC, Spices Board, tea boards. And in a single assessment, NABL verify all the requirement in the laboratory. So, India having approx 200 laboratories in this integrated system. So, it's a great achievement that all the test reports released from these laboratories and accompanied with the product exported to any other country will be accepted. This acceptance is based on NABL status as a MRA signatory with International Laboratory Accreditation Corporation and Asia Pacific Accreditation Corporation. This MRA having objective to accredited ones and accepted everywhere. Based on this, if the product is tested in any one of the country and exported to other MRA partner country, then it is accepted. So the purpose of setting this MRA is to reduce technical barrier of trades. And I am happy to announce that in a recent survey of global quality infrastructure, NABL and NABCB stood at 5th rank. And globally, overall quality infrastructure, we are at rank 10. So we collectively work together with regulators and ministries like Ministry of Food Processing, because they are providing immense support to all kind of the food laboratories, whether it is a private laboratory, government laboratory, university laboratories, and any small scale or medium or micro scale laboratory. So I appreciate initiatives of Ministry of Food Processing at all level. And this was not started now. It was started, I think, in year 2005. And even still, they are associated those laboratory which have received support at that time. So this is entire system which maintain transparency and impartiality, because we are following the same international system which followed by any other country for their own laboratory.
Reniji, thanks for the appreciation. It's always good when anybody appreciate you. But my second question is slightly critical. Many people say that it takes time to get NABL accreditation. There is a perception, or it may be the misconception among some entrepreneurs. So this is my first question, and second question is this: what small labs, what type of challenges small labs face in getting NABL accreditation and maintaining this accreditation? Just brief.
Yeah, sir, it's a very important question. See, sir, accreditation process, as I informed in earlier my proceedings, that we are following an international system, ISO IC 17011. So 17011 describes the accreditation process also. So we are following the same process, and it's a stepwise process. Like, we receive the application, we scrutinize it, and based on application scope and requirement, we schedule the assessment, and based on finding, we take the decision. So in between one stage to another, there are the timeline is given. Turnaround time is given to the officers who are dealing with all these laboratories at one level to one stage to another level. And same way, we have provided some time to the laboratories in response. So actually what happened, in practically, whenever any assessment is happened and some non-conformity raised, and non-conformities are, we can say, those activity which is not compliant with the requirement of standard. So the timeline is given to the laboratory is taken by them because NABL maintain its timeline. There are the turnaround time is like one stage is 3 days and 5 days, and means we are not moving to months. It is in one digit, you can say days. So means like up to maximum time is 9 days for completing any activity. So it's just a combined effort of NABL and laboratories. So this is the reply of first question.
Thank you, Reniji, for your valuable information. Now I come to Mr. Sudhir Rai from BioZ Lab. BioZ Lab is a MOFPI assisted lab. It is located in Mumbai. And Mr. Sudhir Rai is a lab owner, and he has very in-depth knowledge about instrumentation. So I would like Sri Rai must share this information. For my first question will be that what are the opportunities for the food processing sector, basically in food testing labs, so that you can see as of now that at present I think there are almost 500 labs which are NABL accredited in food testing under various scope. So what are the opportunities you can see at present from your point of view as an entrepreneur?
Thank you very much, Vivek ji. Hello. So thank you very much, Vivek ji, for inviting us for this forum. And I must say, although we are relatively a very new lab in this food testing domain, but my experience with various different food testing laboratories because of our instrumentation supply goes back to 20 years plus. And of course, looking at opportunities for the food testing and the great support from Ministry of Food Processing Industries, we dared to venture into setting up a world-class laboratory in Mumbai. But I must tell you that food testing laboratory business has never been so exciting. In fact, we have been coming across not only the food and beverage manufacturers, but various food enthusiasts, general population, in fact, enforcement from the government agencies, and also a lot of information flow has made food testing awareness, brought in a lot of awareness into the common population as well. So I must say that it's increasing day by day. We have been getting interest from various different entrepreneurs who want to get into the food manufacturing, people who have been already doing food manufacturing and they want to improve their processes. And I see a great lot of opportunities into this business. And Vivek ji, I would like to also say that I also see that more than testing, we can become, we can strengthen our relationship with the food manufacturers, not only to do the analysis work, but also help them doing the root cause analysis. In case of a failed report, if we are able to, do a hand-holding and support them in identifying the root causes, we have done it in past and it works very, very well. In fact, I must share one small example. We came across of FBO. They got salmonella contamination in some of the products, and they identified two possible contaminants. One was from the RO unit, another one was a leaked jacket from one of the mixers, and they ensured that RO system was corrected well and that contamination was taken care of, but they were not very sure whether this is the only cause of contamination. They were not aware of this leakage into the jackets until they did some testing, and they just wanted to know what can be done. So in fact we guided them, and they sent the samples, and they did the biotypers analysis, and they were able to get that it is not only coming from a single strain, but different strains of salmonella were present. So they just did not close that topic there itself. They investigated further and they got to know about this leakage at the jacket, and they were able to ensure that the factory is foolproof. So I still believe that a lot of close association between the manufacturers and the laboratories needs to grow further. It has to be strengthened.
So Roy, what role technology can play in this that you suggest root cause analysis?
Yeah, so as I mentioned that a multi-biotyper is an instrument. This can help you. It has got a database of more than 4,000 plus strains of various microbial contaminants. So getting the right source and ensuring that it is. I'm just trying to give this example. Coming to the technological, in fact, our most of the laboratories nowadays are highly sophisticated. They already have sophisticated instrumentation. The improvement areas which I believe is improving the TAT and also going close to the manufacturing hubs. or the harvest centers. So there are technologies available. I must say, I heard of a GC, which is ultra fast GC, which can do complete runtime of less than 1 minute. There are portable mass spectrometers which can be taken into the field, operated by a battery. There are portable HPLC systems, RT-PCR systems. They can be taken to the field. So there are a lot of advanced technologies which are coming up, which are portable enough, and taking the laboratory to the field or to the place of analysis certainly helps overcoming the logistics challenges and improving the TAT as well.
Okay.
In fact, yeah, sorry.
Thank you. My next question is,
Okay.
how can India position itself as a regional hub for advanced food testing and certification services? As you know that food processing sector is growing multifold. So what are the opportunities in that area in terms of food testing?
Very interesting question, sir. And I must say that definitely many laboratories are already doing this task. And our food testing laboratories are at par with the world class. The instrumentation is world class. Laboratory design is done at par. Our chemists, our analysts, and our scientists are certainly at par with the global standards. And I would also like to appreciate all the labs that our TAT and hardworking team is amongst the best in the whole world, certainly. In fact, I'm sure Annabelle is already working with some nearby countries to, accept, or maybe Annabelle is already accrediting some of the laboratories in nearby countries, and those laboratories certainly accept the reports generated by Indian laboratories. We have seen interest from various different countries to send samples to India for analysis. There are some challenges related to the logistics and the custom clearances. If we are able to overcome it, I must say that India can be really a global hub for food testing as well. India has already enjoyed being the global hub of pharmaceutical testing and clinical trials. And the same way, it can be reciprocated to the food testing as well. And I see a great opportunity. We are in good shape. Just correcting a little bit of logistics will be a great help, sir. And yes, sir.
Yes, please continue.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, please continue.
I think that's it, sir.
That's enough. Okay.
Next year.
Thanks for your views, and I hope that we are really benefited by them. Now I come to Shri Upendra Simha. Mr. Upendra, what is new emerging contamination in food chain? How can automation reduce TAT turnaround time for food testing laboratories?
Yeah, thank you very much, Vivek ji, and giving the opportunity and all the forum, and also wish all the panelists for their best effort. With respect to the new emerging contaminants, yes, whatever the advanced technology is happening, food is measured for their microbial contamination and chemical constituents analysis. While coming to the chemical constituent analysis, one is the good factor, like vitamins, how much is present, fatty acid present, that. And there are the residues which in the process of manufacturing or in the food chain, which is coming to the contact with the food, that we need to limit because that is toxic in nature. So already during the farming, whichever the chemicals we are using, we are aware. And we have the databases for that, but whichever the new emerging content which is in food coming from the food chain during the transportation, during the storage, so that is and some environmental pollutants which is now as emerging as a new content. To take a few examples, one is the polyfluorinated alkyl sulfonates, we call it as a PFAS, which is majorly coming from the environmental contaminants, majorly we found in water because of the industrial pollutants which is entering, that is one of the industrial pollutants. And further to that, it is coming from the packaging material also. So during the transportation of the food, we are using a lot of packaging materials. There is a possibilities due to that contact with the food, it may migrate. It is not used for any benefits, but it is migrating. So that's where we need to analyze. So Shimadzu has come up with the online LCMS system, do the sample preparation also and LCMS. Why this automation is required? Because whatever the accessories or the tools we are using, that is also have some amount of PFAS. So we need to reduce the migration of these during the sample preparation entering into the samples. So for that we have done that. And
I just want to intervene. You just talked about the packaged material.
Right.
So what about this nanoplastic contamination? Is it really a threat? Or do we have any regulation or nearby regulation in other countries? Can we follow that?
Yeah, sure, sir. So microplastic and nanoplastic is one of the contaminants where the environmental pollutants it is coming from to the food. Like for example, so a lot of plastic dumpings are there, which is entering into the sea or water bodies. Now, aquatics animals are having that, like fish or any other aquatics. It is entering into their bodies. So when we are consuming that, that is entering into the our humans. But unfortunately, this pest cannot be flushed out from the system, biological system, or from our muscles. So it will accumulate. So for that, yes, studies are going on with respect to the food and the environmental testing from the water, wastewater, drinking water till that level. Even with respect to the any contact materials which is coming, like for example, so if you're having a tea bags which is you are dipping and extracting the tea and you are feeding, whether that filtration may have contained any plastics. So for that also, until it is measuring up to the clinical, like our humans blood and muscles also. So till that time we have found in some animals so plastic accumulation. Because of that, it would have been died or it would have been some issues has happened. So now we are hacking all the chain where the plastic can enter and we can measure it. Yes, we do have a solution, but yes, ASTM, which is already the plastic testing which is doing from last time, we are buying the information from them, methods, and we are preparing the regulation in case of food. But yes, it is take little time for the food to measure the microplastics, but it is on the cards.
So you are representing Toshwin Analytical Private Limited. So can you share some cutting edge technology which is required today in this food testing ecosystem?
Yeah, we are representing the Toshwin as an organization, Shimadzu Corporation, who is our manufacturer, who is based at Japan. So we are manufacturing as per the requirement of the industries, what the users or the operators are looking for. So in that context, we have whichever the known compounds or the known contaminations already we have prepared the ready to use or ready to transfer the method to the labs. So that already we have established. With respect to cutting edge technology, one of the recent events is the ethylene oxide analysis. So European Union has reduced the contamination level up to 20 ppb levels for most of the food product. So earlier it is a little higher, but now it is reduced to 20 ppb. So people who is working earlier at higher concentration cannot use the same technology or same method here. So being a ethylene oxide as a fumigant which is highly volatile in nature, so regular sample preparation cannot be adequate. Shimadzu has come up with the automated sample preparation system called headspace, dynamic headspace or headspace trap method, so that we can minimize the sample preparation errors and get the better results, better accuracy that can meet with respect to the any international regulations. So that's how we are evolving as and when required, whenever the need is there. And from the LCMS to the GCMS to the ICPMS, we are having the whole portfolio to address all the contamination or chemical constituent analysis.
And what about this LIMS system?
Yeah, with respect to the data traceability, so
Because that is very much required.
yes, so like automation and LIMS are in collaboration. Like artificial intelligence is providing the instrument as a user who is not exposed to these analytical instrumentation, how software or instrument itself behave as a expert user. So that's where the artificial like self-diagnostic feature, good acquisition tools we have prepared, and also the data review, automated data reviews. While coming to the data traceability and a sample traceability, when you enter into the lab, we need to have a sample registration. From the sample registrations, the whatever the different analysis, it is done microbial, it is done the chemical from various instruments like LCMS, GCMS, ICPMS, and other type of instruments also. One sample has the so many parameters also, all it will correlate. And in most of the food aggregators nowadays preferring that they can put a QR code on their batch on the packaging. When you scan that, it will give the all the certification in that one, so that all the test reports can be linked to the lab information management system. That can be printed into the QR code, so that you can see you have the traceability of all the tests, whether it is performed and in what condition it is in a good condition.
This is the point which I wanted to emphasize, that in case of food product, we can ensure the traceability. Simultaneously, we should ensure the traceability of the testing also. Where
Correct.
it was tested, what parameters it was tested, and when
Correct.
it was tested, what is the
Right.
shelf life. So these all traceability, the data of traceability must be there.
Correct. It will be from the limbs we can create for the other testability. From there, it can put it to the QR codes. That QR codes can be monitored. The who are using that product, they can scan. They will get all the information out there.
And how this backward integration is essential for this agro food products.
Right. It is the one of the important aspects. So why it is there? Testing is not to tell that the product is good or bad, whether it is safe to use or not. But the importance is there. It is to go back to the farm, because after the it is the final product we are testing. Till it reaches the final product, there is lot of events or lot of chains we need to monitor, whether it is the while growing the product, while it is storing the product, while it is transporting the product. So all these food chains, you may get contamination. So when I go into the backward integration, I will tell where the contamination may occur. So once I have identified, I will take a precautionary actions to clear that. So what it is giving that? It is giving the traceability, because any food aggregator, they are buying the material from different sources. Like I want to have a chili oleoresins, I may get the 1 ton from the Rajasthan, 1 ton from the Guntur or any other region. So after the accumulation, I am preparing that final product. But if you have the traceability of the one of the sources, if it is contaminated, I can reject it from the ration. So I need to have to use that, or it is then I will make sure that whether it is during the farming that contamination happened or during the storage. So I can take out the precautionary measure so that I can clear that one. So this will build the trust on the final products. So because I am not only testing, I am going back and rectifying their problems, so that it will do the traceability also and the trust of the material. When trust is built on the final product, so then obviously it will coming to the market, their business obviously depending on their revenues, so it will also improve their revenues. That's where the economic growth and the business, company business growth, this backward integration is very important, so that more product coming to the market with good quality, and it is the trust, they can build a trustable brand.
Thank you, Mr. Umesh Sinha, for your valuable suggestions and information. And now I come to Dr. Nilesh Amritkar, MD, EnviroCare Lab. And Dr. Nilesh has been associated with MOFPI since long, and he leads in pioneering the world-class lab in Mumbai, that is EnviroCare Lab, and it is assisted by MOFPI. And recently he has set up a new lab in Goa also. So I hope he will expand his network. And my first question to Dr. Nilesh is, what type of collaboration do you see with the regulators and food testing lab? Because you have been associated with food testing lab associations also. So what type of collaboration do you consider at this juncture when there is a deficit of food testing labs in India?
Okay, Thank you very much. Very good afternoon to all. I can see a lot of people are standing. That just shows the significance and
It's a full
importance
house.
of. It's more than a full house that people are really interested to see how labs are getting built up and how MOFPI is supporting. I'm very fortunate to be part of MOFPI since 2009 when we first applied for the project in Thane lab, and I was frankly not believing that government will be giving such kind of grants. And believe me, not only that time in 2010, but even in 2023, that when we applied, the work that was done by the ministry is fantastic. I've never seen a ministry, a government official so streamlined and so much of supporting and helping nature to entrepreneurs like us. This was something, a good insight that yes, we are being supported and we are being heard of. So thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful opportunity that you have given to us. And it has not stopped only till that. The other part that MOFPI has done is they allowed the concept of live labs to be demonstrated in the World Food India in 2024 and in this year also in 2025. So what has been demonstrated over there, बहुत लोगों को, lot of people feel that labs are like in a garage or in some 2-room kitchen or in some 100 square feet or 1000 square feet of place. But lab is a very big thing, and it's a factory. The stress, pain that is there for building a factory is same as what is building a laboratory. It's not a simple thing. So they allowed us to demonstrate how a live lab will look like with chemistry department, microbiology department, instrumentation department, and thanks to all the suppliers, we have I can see lot of faces over here who actually presented the instruments, equipments over there. Now this was very important, sir, since this is related to your question, that what is the skill or the collaboration that is required. That was the opportunity where so many students came to that live lab program and they actually applied that we want to work in a laboratory. They did not know about labs. So this is something which was very a sad part, but I can see that there is an opportunity in this. Questions that they were raised by the student that अरे lab क्या होता है, what is the lab? They only thought that regulatory is the or the manufacturing or the QA/QC that is there on the inline samples that comes out. That's the thing that they used to think about. But when the lab as a factory, lot many people from NIFTM sir especially applied, and we have employed now 9 NIFTM people this year. After the live labs program. So that's the outcome of what MOFPI does and how it helps not only in funding the laboratories, but also helping the new generation to build their careers through these laboratories. Now, having said this, I would also like to put across some points, my thoughts, sir. Most of the technical parts, I think everybody has covered. NABL has covered, Toshwin has covered, BioZ has covered. My belief, sir, that laboratory is not a business if you want to earn huge amount of money. Let me be very clear on this. Lab is a social responsibility. And many people think that I'm doing this business, I'm doing that business, I have some extra money, let's put up a lab. Please, this is a social responsibility. And I have always termed laboratory as family doctors. These are the
I must add one thing, that you are not generating the report.
Yes.
You are generating the trust.
Yes.
Which any mother need.
Yes.
Suppose she has to feed her child.
Yes.
So that is a trust.
Yes.
So that is the social responsibility. So that's a good point.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And the concept of family doctor, a family laboratory for the FBO as well as the regulator, that is where the hand holding happens. So one of our panelists also mentioned that how the labs help the FBOs to really identify where the contamination is. Now this requires lot of skill sets, not only in the lab owners, but also in the teams that are part of the lab. So developing these teams become very important. And I always tell my team, whoever joins our organization, that there is something called as commitment to the work that you are going to do, and it constitutes of 3 Ds that I have told them. One is determination, the other is devotion, and the third is discipline. Because these are some of the things, if you are really working on these three parts, then all the precision and accuracy in your analysis also comes. You don't deviate from your SOP, you don't deviate or budge from the analytical protocols that are to be followed. And that's the key for any analyst to be successful in giving the right results, reproducible result, repeatable result. So which could be actually accepted not just by the FBO, but also would be accepted by the regulator and across the globe. And thanks to NABL, again NABL, I've been associated with NABL since 2006, and being the assessor also with NABL, was fortunate to learn so many things and also impart that skills to people, that in a laboratory, lot of it's not just the clauses of the standard of ISO or the SOPs that are mentioned in doing a testing protocol. It is the why question that we need to ask. Why we are doing, why we are. If you ask it 6 times, 7 times, you will actually get the root of the analysis that we are doing. It's the chemistry and it's the microbiology of the contaminant, the microbiology of the pathogen, and the chemistry of the food that is actually interacting with each other to give the results that are there, which are reflected in the human health from the human safety point of view. So these are some of the things that I wanted to put across. Now again, coming back to the question of skills, that
is collaboration with regulators.
Collaboration with the regulators part, sir. Here, my thoughts is, sir, like when I said that with NIFTM, we have been able to hire 9 new people just this year from NIFTM, Tanjavur and Kundli. Here, hand-holding can be done with the regulators that like NABL, FSSAI, we can have specific ISO 17025 credit courses run in these institutes. So by the time they are graduating or post-graduating, they are completely aware of the fundamental 17025, how to really maintain the laboratory management systems, plus allied aspects of it, which even just now Rini ma'am spoke about, is about 17043 proficiency testing, 17034 RMP testing, RMP producer, reference material producer. These are some of the things which are very key components for people to really understand, and regulators would be the best people to really help that collaboration happen. So currently I'm trying to work with the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, wherein under the Skill India program, our target is to have around 300 to 500 new people trained in the laboratory, because when there are going to be 100 new labs, it will require, and on an average, it requires around 40 to 50 people each lab. So the funding that MOFPI gives is not only for the lab entrepreneur, but for the country, that we are able to generate about almost, agar 100 labs hai, to 100 into 50, 500 new, 5,000. 5,000 new employment would be generated, and there the regulators would really play a very important role in collaborating, that how we start from young, from the college itself, so that the people who would come out from the college will be able to join these laboratories and really give good
that hands-on courses are required.
Yes.
Not academic knowledge.
So there what we are planning is 70% practical and 30% classroom training, which actually would be able to really make them shaksham, as what our Prime Minister also says, shaksham, to come up and work in the laboratory.
So I again come to the related point. When we see the map of India in terms of food testing labs, there is a deficit in northeastern region, eastern region, and partially in northern region. So what we can do to resolve this for the uniform distribution of food testing labs? And second, what can we do to make business viable in tier 2 and tier 3 cities? That has been well taken. Skill development is okay. We need to do 100% compliance from the FBOs and hotel and that restaurant catering services? What more we can do as a whole? Ministry of Food Processing Industries, FSSAI, NABL, Food Testing Lab.
This
Can anyone please?
this question is out of syllabus, but but
small
yes, it is actually a very insightful question, sir. I'm really happy that you asked this question. It's not about having labs everywhere across India, but it is definitely that we have the hub and spoke model where the basic testing is carried out in the labs which are in the remotest areas, and the high-end analysis which can still have some time to really come up with the results can be done at the centralized laboratory, because how this helps is a channelization of the resources and quick results for the key parameters, key components that are really required by that particular FBO or the regulator to take the decisions on the food that is being under the consideration. So hub and spoke model, or what we call as satellite labs, and then the central what do you call as center of excellence labs. And this model is what I'm saying is not something new, sir. This is very well implemented even in our medical line also, that there are hospitals, there are local village medical units, and then as you go up to district level or the state level, and then there is AIMS. So definitely there's a channelization of the things, and the hub and spoke model, so more labs definitely would be required, and it would really build a very strong ecosystem for giving quality and safe food for the country.
Okay, anyone else to answer this question, ma'am?
Sir, can I add? Yeah. See, sir, this, as sir is said that this is very valid question. See, if we see, because we usually discuss about the demography of and distribution of food testing laboratory, and get the availability of the food testing laboratory in entire India. See, sir, we have to take collective initiatives, as Ministry of Food Processing has announced 100 laboratory setup. So we have to identify at least each state must be having at least 10 labs, so that they can cater the requirement of that particular area. Other thing is that the relevance or importance of food testing laboratories are not known to the that particular area FBOs. So that is very much required to create awareness about the importance of food testing laboratories.
Mr. Roy?
I very much agree with Madam. And I also very much agree with Dr. Nilesh that certainly the satellite and center of excellence model has been already working. But I think we need to do a little bit more to encourage people to venture into this business. And I think awareness and enforcement are the key words which can play a very vital role in creating a, So I'll just give an example. We have been talking about GI tag foods, okay? But we need to also provide the infrastructure to get certainly tested. I mean, we have a couple of farming land, and we have some farmhouses in Konkan area. Unfortunately, the Konkan mangoes and Alfonso mangoes are very, very popular across the world and one of the most expensive ones. But the farmers are getting discouraged from growing it any further, because there are very cheaper varieties looking similar, are very much available. And similarly, we are getting challenges related to honey. We are getting challenges related to the tea. So, of course, I mean, integrating technology to reach to the heart of, that center could be something which can be helpful. If I talk about the tea, if we are able to get a solution to the tea producers, that hey, whatever is said and done, we will ensure that your tea is recognized geographically and in terms of quality, and you will be able to get good value for that. I think this will encourage people to try to set up laboratories in that area itself. We have been looking at various commodities. I mean, you would be surprised that India imports huge quantity of cashew nuts in. More than 12,000 crores worth of cashew nuts are being imported in India. And some of the cashew nuts from Tanzania are supposed to be the best ones. But unfortunately, most of our importers do not really get the Tanzanian, they don't get the value for money. Most of the Tanzanian cashew nuts are added with Ghana cashew nuts from Indonesia and various other locations. And eventually what they receive is not essentially what they have paid for it. Hing, aspatita. And we have been importing about 1,000 crores worth of hing in India. And India is probably one of the largest consumers of hing. But unfortunately, there's no regulation. Most of hing in India is being imported from Afghanistan. Probably we import more hing from Afghanistan than that is produced being in the country. So there's definitely a gap here. So if we're able to integrate some technologies to reach to the businessmen and provide a cost to them, I think this will encourage people to set up more laboratories into the remote locations. That's my view.
Okay. Thanks for your views. I hope that everyone should be aware, and this will be resolved in the couple of years, so that every city which is a tier 2 or tier 3 city must have a NABL accredited lab, standard lab. That lab must have the high-end equipments, ICP-MS, LC-MS-MS, GC-MS-MS, and that HPLC. So these basic and high-end equipments are required. That I see. Now I come to Miss Danielle Adset. She has come from New Zealand. New Zealand is a partner country of World Food India 2025. Welcome to India and welcome to Dolophy 2025, ma'am. So we will have a international viewpoint, and I would like to know what best practices you are adopting or it is being adopted in New Zealand, so that can be upscaled in India also. Please throw some light.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me, and thank you to my colleagues who are all much smarter than I am. So I am from New Zealand Apples and Pears, and we represent all apple growers in New Zealand and pear growers. And it's clear that the global food industry is under increasing pressure to meet stringent safety measures, both domestically and for export. And in New Zealand, industry-led solutions and the utilisation of global standards are emerging as powerful tools to scale food safety testing, to ensure compliance and to drive innovation. In New Zealand, over the last 30 years, we have seen a 90% reduction in pesticide loading in all of our orchards, and we have a residue pass rate of 100% for Codex markets. New Zealand Apples and Pears, so our company, we run the random residue monitoring program for all New Zealand apples and pear growers, and this is compulsory. We are independent, we are trusted by the grower, and this allows us to have consistency of decision making on behalf of our government and food safety programs that would otherwise be very difficult to achieve. However, food safety testing as a compliance measure provides a snapshot of product safety, but it cannot guarantee it. Food safety ideally should be a system of different checks and balances with integrated control points, risk assessment and risk management, and different testing applications throughout the supply chain. Food safety is paramount to product quality and consumer trust. It is what builds a brand and is what New Zealand Apples has built a reputation on internationally over the last 20 years. People want safe and reliable food, and they will pay a premium for that. So New Zealand Apples and Pears, we operate a random residue monitoring program which tests for chemical residue from pesticide application as well as contamination with 100% grower participation. This is independent of exporters or salesmen or commercial interests. The system randomly selects samples from each orchard once in a 3-year cycle. It is a program that is recognised by Global Gap and recognised by our government. This system is a single point in a fully integrated system which sets the rules around pesticide application dates, application numbers, and requirements to be Global Gap accredited. The residue monitoring program confirms compliance of the system, but not individual lots. Only very rarely does the New Zealand program test consignment-based samples, as this would be a huge burden on the entire system and is only required if the risk assessment says it's so. The random residue program that we implement uses random block sampling, algorithmic selection of blocks, and full traceability from orchard to lab to export. We use data integration through a centralised hub so that at all times the sample is identified, where it was taken, who took the sample, when it was processed, the test results, and the MRL comparisons. These results and this traceability is available for the grower, the packer, the exporter, and ourselves as the industry association. This enables transparency, error reduction, and real-time compliance checks, and is achieved through Orchard ID, Sample ID, the use of QR codes, as my colleagues spoke about, as well as member secure sites. Additionally, New Zealand Apples and Pears works with the laboratories in New Zealand to ensure that the pesticide screen is fit for purpose with all known and potential residues and contaminants, and we provide the results to our growers in two forms, a certificate of analysis as well as a certificate of compliance. The COC compares the residues or contaminants found in the sample to all specific country MRLs, including New Zealand's MRLs and India's MRLs, and to Codex MRLs. Not only does this ensure compliance, but it streamlines the export process as it is clear to the grower and the exporter which countries can receive the fruit, and it does not leave it to the grower or the exporter to be making decisions. And because we have a direct relationship with the lab, we're able to get competitive pricing for our members, we can ensure turnaround times for our growers are adhered to, and we can streamline further targeted testing as required. This builds transparency and trust. And then because we have the data from this testing, as another one of our colleagues spoke about, we're then able to analyse where there is failures and why there is failures. So we can go back to spray records, orchard records, packhouse records to provide continuous improvement to our systems. This system is recognised by Global Gap and is a successful model of industry-led compliance innovation. This is a private model in New Zealand that satisfies government and regulatory requirements. It's absolutely important in India to ensure that lab facilities are available for fresh produce, to ensure that samples are treated appropriately, and that they make it to the lab in one piece so that they are accurate results for the grower and the exporter and the salesperson to then use.
Thank you, Ms. Daniel, for sharing your viewpoint. I hope that everyone should take note of that, and we will work upon that. So now, as we have seen that we have discussed various aspects of integration, how policy, accreditation, lab capacity, skill development, and other aspects can be integrated to create a huge food ecosystem of food testing lab. So before I conclude this session, I would like to invite questions from the audience. But before, I must be grateful to the people who are standing. I was not expecting such a huge gathering for this session. That shows interest that people are taking in this labs. So, yeah. So this round is yours. You may ask any question or any concern to us, and our panelists will reply to that. Anyone, any question? It may be out of syllabus.
There's one.
Please hand over the mic.
Hello everyone, I'm Kunjan Khera. My question is to Rini ma'am. Ma'am, in respect of lab accreditation readiness, what gaps do you see in technical capabilities of the FTL, and what NABL is doing to address those gaps?
Thank you for asking this question. See, every lab is independent entity. Every lab having its own individual problem and challenges. We can't say that it is a problem. It's their challenges. See, every lab have a setup of its resources like equipment, entire facility, and personnel, and consumables required for performing testings. So in food testing laboratories, there are every type of setup: government, university setup, private laboratories, in-house laboratories. So there is no correlation between the challenges faced by one laboratory and other laboratories. Yeah, general challenges which is faced by the food testing laboratories is regarding availability of reference materials for performing analysis and proficiency testing provider. But nowadays NABL has approx 77 proficiency testing providers, and one of them is available, Mr. Nilesh Amritkar Laboratory, this PT provider, sorry, EnviroCare, who is taking care of about food testing laboratories and food testing PT providers schemes, and reference materials producers also available in India. Approx 24s are there. Earlier it is all the reference material used to import it from other countries. So these are the general practices, and apart from that, if any technical upskilling is required, so now many regulators like FSSI, EIC and NABL work together, even Ministry of Food Processing through NIFTM. We conduct technical training program, hands-on training program. So if any new requirements are come, so we come forward for that. So now only awareness is required, updating laboratory to themselves with the opportunity available on regulators portal and NABL portal, so that they can grab and improve further. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
First.
Thank you for this exciting discussion. This is always a close to heart topic and moderated very well, sir. My question is to Daniel. You mentioned about the MRL residue-free program, which is approved by Global Gap and also by New Zealand government. So generally the limits are globally internationally set, and most of the schemes has got acceptance as per codex limits, etc. So was it something different that this MRL program was, or this was more to do with the procedural aspect of ensuring the produce is pesticide free?
So for us, New Zealand apples are exported to over 70 markets internationally. So whilst we have New Zealand MRLs that all product has to adhere to, and then there's Codex MRLs, and then there's market MRLs, which could differ from New Zealand MRLs and India MRLs. And when you're exporting single fruit to potentially over 70 markets, as a grower, that's very difficult to make assessment of. So providing these reports that says you're excluded from this market or you're included from this market just streamlines that decision making. And further to that, when we have these reports, that data is actually also used by pack house systems and export systems, so that physically they cannot export that product because it has been withdrawn from the system. So it takes all the decision making out of exports for us around that MRL comparison.
So since you said this is approved by New Zealand government, so if there is a positive detection of molecule, what happens to that product? It is internally rejected?
So if a apple fails for a New Zealand MRL, it cannot be consumed, it must be destroyed. Okay? If it fails for a different market MRL, but it still passes the New Zealand MRL, it can be consumed domestically or sent to a different market.
This is actually a good point. It's a very good way to transfer this into. Very good.
Thank you.
There may be differences. Actually, generally countries follow codex, but if I recall, I have followed your river water norms, and that are more stricter than ours. I think it's drinkable. It should be drinkable, if I recall well.
It would be our preference that all markets follow Codex.
Okay. So any other question? Any other question?
Myself, Shivam Rajput. I am a food technology student at ILM University. Sir, I have a question. Is there any plan to integrate more food safety modules into university curriculums with regulatory bodies?
Who can better answer this? Because if anyone from NIFTEM or because.
So I will try to just give my points on this. So we are on the board of studies of almost around 10 different colleges and universities, and what we are pushing as an industry, and this is can be an advice to all other laboratory personnels and even the manufacturers that are over here, that please try to be on part of the board of studies. The student here has asked a very genuine and a very valid question. Most of our syllabuses have not been changed for a long period of time in many of the universities, but some of the universities are very proactively taking steps to ensure that new technologies, new challenges of the industries are coming into their syllabus. So it becomes our duty as a laboratory, as an MOFPI funded laboratory, to give back to the society, and what best is to be on part of the board of studies of these colleges and help them arrive at different modules on what we can put. So on all the 10 colleges, universities that I am the board of study member, I have seen that 17025 NABL accreditation, MOFPI, Pradhan Mantri Yojana, all these are getting taught at different levels in these MSc programs. So this is something which is being done. I'm sure even in your college also there would be board of studies. You can request your HOD to please speak with either MOFPI or to us, and we'll be happy to help you on that. I hope, sir, this is answered.
It's okay. We have also noted down your question, and if there is any further query, concern or question, you can write to us. Our email ID is on the website, that is Food Testing Lab. You can write to us. We will surely respond to you. Any concern do you have? And with this, I would like to conclude this session. Thanks for your patient learning, patient listening. And with this, we need to take back the ideas back, and we should work upon that in an integrated manner. So thanks again. Thanks again for the patient listening and learning. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Vivek, sir.
Thank you so much, Shri Vivek Kumar Singh ji and our esteemed panelists for such enlightening insights. Today's discussion highlighted how policy integration, accreditation, laboratory excellence and technological innovation can come together to strengthen India's food safety architecture. On behalf of World Food India 2025, I extend my sincere gratitude to our moderator, our speakers, and to all of you in the audience for joining us in this session. Now, may I request Shri Vikram Pradhan ji, Director, MOFPI, to please facilitate our panelists. Sir, please come and facilitate Shri Vivek Kumar Singh ji. Ms. Rini Narayan. Shri Sudhir C. Rai. Ms. Daniel Atsit. Shri Upendra Simha. Dr. Nilesh Amritkar. With here, we conclude the session, but the journey doesn't end here. I encourage you all to network, connect, and continue these dialogues at the exhibition halls. Thank you for being a part of such an amazing and being such an amazing audience.
Can we have a group photo?
Yes, sir, sure. Sir. Enjoy the rest of World Food India 2025. Have a wonderful day ahead.